And let's get ready to rumble for the final heat of the day and the final heat of round 5 of qualifying. So here we go then, the final track action of Thursday afternoon and the final heat of round 5 of the IFMAR 1/10th IC Track World Championships qualifying 2016. Our coverage has been brought to you live all day and will be for the entirety of this event right through to the conclusion by Team Shepherd, by HPI Racing and by Runner Time Fuel, and of course alongside IFMAR, the organising governing body of this event, alongside EFRA, the sector, the European sector governing body they're working alongside, and we are the official media partners for season 2016 with EFRA. We're very, very grateful to be alongside them. So here's your lineup. This is your top heat. These are the guys who have been setting this track on fire so far today. Their speed has been absolutely phenomenal. But in the rounds just before this one, we've seen some guys step up to the plate. What have these guys got to do in what the fans are calling happy hour? This is one of the peak times for the track. A lot of grip laid down on it. The temperature's slightly starting to cool as the sun starts to go down just a little bit. And this is where, theoretically, some of the very fastest times you'll see all weekend are about to come to the fore. Can any of these guys do just that? It's Dario Balestre who's rolling off first, who is currently the provisional TQ. After the 4 completed rounds, Takaaki Shimo of Japan will roll off second. Then Luca Rodelli, third for Italy. Dominic Greiner, fourth for Germany. Ahead of his countryman Robert Peach. Alessio Mazzeo, sixth for Italy. And then seventh, rolling off, will be the reigning IFMAR 1/8 world champion Simon Kurzbuch, Switzerland. Behind him is the reigning EFRA 1/10th IC Track European champion Bruno Coelho. And then Tadahiko Samashi of Japan, 9th. And then Mark Green of Great Britain completes the 10. Let's get underway. So immediately we pick up Balestre straight out of the blocks. Coming around on a real tear. And they are letting slip essentially some of the fastest times all day. We saw some searing times in the earlier heats in this round. Stuff that was way beyond what we've seen so far. If you think about it, this is one of the times during the day where the track will be at its optimum. It'll be slightly cooler than it has been at the hottest points during the day, obviously where the sun's going down a little bit. It is around just past 7 o'clock UK time in the evening here. So the sun is low now and it's not beating down on the track. But they've had an entire day's running on this, so there's a lot of compound down. There's a lot of grip in this track. Perhaps a little bit too much there for Balestre. He got a little bit offline coming through those final few corners. But he is still right up there straight away. Alessio Mazzeo bangs in a 16.369 one-lap speed. Is anyone going to get sub 16 seconds? I'm not sure. This will probably be the round where that happens. But I think that'll be a bridge too far even for these guys. And they are seriously talented at this sort of speed. As Balestre takes the early lead, he's down to a 16.396. Dominic Greiner on a 16.353. The one-lap speed is absolutely sensational. Let's see if we can find Mr. Greiner. He's the pink and black car who's coming through the final turns now. So if you hold there in the first few corners and coming down the straight now, the next car coming through should be Greiner. He's in the first few turns. The pink and black car just one ahead. There he is. There's Greiner. They are setting such a mighty pace right now. Greiner, who came so close to glory in the 1/10th European Championships last year in Turkey, is one of the strongest in the world in this class and has been one of the pace setters in practice. He's been one of the ones who's enjoyed the cooler conditions. Guys like Balestre have enjoyed it once the temperature has crept up a bit and has got a bit hotter. So maybe this is where Greiner comes to the fore. He is provisionally 4th overall coming into this round. If he stays where he is, he goes into the Super Pole session, slated for 11 AM tomorrow, local time. And we have Takaaki Shimo also putting some great laps in. Let's see if we can find car number 2 as he comes around. We continue to follow Greiner for now. But car 2 of Takaaki Shimo is someone we need to pay attention to right now. Shimo is the yellow and grey car coming through the final turns now. And he's heading onto the main straight. He's just behind the white and green car. There he is. Great sweeping shot there. Through the runner time turns. There's Takaaki Shimo of Japan, who has been there leading their charge so far this weekend and has been on red-hot form so far. He has looked really, really good as he comes through the IFMAR turns to complete the lap. A little bit of a tail-out action there, just a little bit loose in the rear. That's just where you want it to be. You don't want it to be entirely just gripped to the floor, because of course that causes a grip roll. If the car sticks down too much, it just flips when it gets out of line. But he's just got that rear end backing out just a little bit. Oh, it looks good. Look at that coming off the IFMAR turns. That's typical kind of Japanese style, full of exuberance, full of almost a kind of pantomime. It's great showman, the Japanese racers, in full scale and in RC racing. And Shimo is one of the classic breed. He is right up there as well. He's very, very quick at this point in time. The fastest lap, one lap, is 16.233 from Luca Rodelli. And I'm just going to keep my eyes open for Rodelli's car. He has dropped down the order a little bit. There's car 3 in front of us. Griner's up there. Robert Peach is up there. Dario Balestre is the pace setter right now. So Balestre, we're watching Shimo right now. Griner is the next car behind. We are looking for Luca Rodelli, who's I think the second of the white cars coming onto the straight right now. Onto the main straight and into the runner time turns. He'll be in the Shepherd S any minute now. There you go. There's those two. One of those two cars is Peach. I'm pretty sure the other one's Rodelli. Front one of those two is Rodelli. Car 3. The lead car of the two is Rodelli. So we need to focus on that car there. The leader of those two white cars is Rodelli and currently has the fastest one lap. But he has dropped down overall. But I say that they're all, with the exception of Matseo and Green, on predicted 19-lap runs. This is where the guys are on their A game massively. Look at the amount of curb he takes going into the runner time turns there. Really, really on it. This is maximum attack. And these guys taking advantage of a track that probably is in one of the best conditions it will be for the entire week. And Rodelli is now climbing back up the charts. I have a feeling he would have... I think he made a mistake in his early laps and that put him down the order a little bit. He's still right in the 19-lap pace. But at this point in time, it is fine margins. There's about 3 to 4 seconds covering 8 of these guys. The final 10 seconds tick down. Rodelli, I think, will be close to completing his 19 laps. I think he should just get there. It's going to be very close. But Balestre, Shimo, Sahashi, Kurzbuck, Coelho, they're all up in that bracket. They come flying round. There's Rodelli's run complete. And a phenomenal display from these guys. They are right on the limit, as demonstrated. Now, was that his 19th lap? That could really be costly for Rodelli. Because if a lot of guys are on 19-lap runs and that was his 19th, it can keep going, but it's going to lose him a lot of time. We'll see here as they come to the finish. And I think his car's actually flamed out. So all in all, that was a bit of a disaster. If that was his final lap, that was a bit of a disaster. If it wasn't, if he'd already completed it, less so. He got away with that. He did still get 19 laps in the end. So, as they retrieve Rodelli's car, which is pretty much burnt out after some phenomenal driving from all of those guys. Let's pull it back out. And let's view the final results, shall we? Our coverage presented to you by Team Shepherd, by HPI Racing, and by Runner Time Fuel. Our coverage of this top heat of round 5 of qualifying, with just 2 rounds to go. It is that man at the top again, Dario Balestre. When the sun rises, that is, no one else is anywhere close to Balestre this week. And I think, I'm fairly certain, that means with his win in the delayed round 2 earlier, he's now got enough wins in the bag to become overall TQ. He also won round 1, yes, correct.
3 rounds out of 6.
So 3 rounds out of 6, and he's pretty much there to win the overall TQ. And it's not a surprise. He's been on the pace ever since we arrived here. He's been absolutely phenomenal. Simon Kurzbuck pushed him all the way there. The reigning 1/8 world champion is still right up there in his quest to add the 1/10 title to his trophy collection. Takaki Shimo, we focused on quite a lot there. His exuberant driving style really paying dividends. He comes home 3rd. 4th is Bruno Coelho, the reigning European champion in this discipline. 5th is Dominic Griner. Those guys barely separated by 1.5 seconds. Robert Peach, 6th. And then Luca Rodelli, that appeared to be a flame out on his final lap, so he didn't make 19 in the end. So it was 18 laps in 4 minutes 59 in the end, so that was an issue on his 19th lap. So that's cost him quite badly there. Tadahiko Sahashi 8th, Alessio Matseo 9th, and Mark Green completes the 10. And that will conclude round 5 of qualifying for the IFMAR 1/10 IC Track World Championships. And our coverage presented to you all week here in Gubbio in Italy by Team Shepherd, by HPI Racing, and by Runner Time Fuel, and in association with IFMAR.